Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we are taking a look. Oh, that looks awful. It's just the worst angle. Okay. Today we're looking at the Rescue Ace archetype. It just dropped. I mean, I swear I looked online like 5 minutes ago and there was nothing. I got to my computer, I looked again, and boom, we've got Rescue Ace cards. This does not appear to be a full-on machine archetype. It could be. Nope, it looks like it's all over the place. Very excited to see what these guys do. I've literally read nothing. I just saw this. Let's get into this. I'm very, very hype. I love it when we're in the middle of deck build pack reveals because it's just a whole new, fully developed archetypes. Let's get into this thing. Starting off, we have Rescue Ace Impulse. This dude looks insane already. He's holding the fire extinguisher. He's got the fire axe. This dude looks awesome. He is a level 3 fire warrior, so searchable off Durendal, as well as could have some other synergies with stuff like Infernoble Knights. Keep an eye on that. Okay, so here we go. 15-15 in stats. First and second effects, hard once per turn. During your main phase, you can make the one effect monster your opponent controls with the highest attack, your choice if tied, unable to activate its effects on the field this turn. Okay, so this is a slow effect. This is just an ignition effect on field, but not a quick effect. So not an interruption or anything, but it does just say, like, into a board, you summon this guy and you just go, that monster can't activate, but you better respond to this now, or like it's just not activating for the turn. So I guess it kind of helps you bait through an interruption. Okay. And the second effect, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect. You can tribute this card from your hand or field to special summon a machine Rescue Ace from your deck. Whoa! So this card is just a hand trap. You're like literally going second, your opponent activates a monster effect, and then you just go tribute this card from hand. Doesn't even have to be on the field. Summon a machine Rescue Ace straight from the deck. Holy crap. That's crazy. Also, pairing with the first effect, playing into a board, you normal summon this guy, you use him to, by the way, this doesn't target, make your opponent's highest attack monster. Let's say, just for example, it's a Baronne de Fleur, 3,000 attack, that would most likely be the highest statted monster your opponent has. They respond to negate and destroy this card because, like, you might as well clear the body, but you can respond to that monster effect by tributing him and summoning a Rescue Ace from the deck. Very, very spicy. Okay. All right. I'm with it. Okay, next up here we have another level 4 Fire Warrior, Rescue Ace Air Hoister, 17-17 for the stats. Again, searchable off Durendal, searchable off Rhoda, and, Fire Warrior could have some synergy there. All right, 2 hard ones per turns. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add a Rescue Ace spell from deck to hand. I like Stratos's. We'll see how good the spells are when we get there, but okay. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field. Keep in mind this is monster effect on the field, but it's really easy. I mean, that's like every deck in the game pretty much does this. You can tribute this card from your hand or field. Special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your hand, except for Hoister. Okay, so it does summon from the hand, but not quite as powerful as our Impulse, but still, I mean, he's already a Stratos. Like, do we need a Stratos that also is a quick effect Lone Fire Blossom? Probably not. But still, there could be plays where, like, you search something to your hand and then use him to get them out, depending on what they are. But we'll see on that. Then we'll go to some, at least the start of machines. This is Rescue Ace Hydrant. Level 1 Fire Machine Effect Monster, 0-0 for the stats. Second and third effects hard once per turn. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or with card effects while you control a Rescue Ace monster other than itself. You can activate 1 quick play spell or trap the turn it is set by your Rescue Ace's card's effects. Okay. And third effect is 2/2s. During your main phase, you can add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand. So, like, even as a normal summon, you just go normal summon, add a Rescue Ace monster. That could even be like search something like Impulse, which now is just like getting you a monster from the deck on the opponent's turn when they activate any monster effect. All right, we'll see how, like, this second effect comes up. We haven't seen any cards that just straight up set, right? We've seen add spell from deck to hand. Yeah, so we'll have to see when that comes up. But, okay, I mean, it's still just like a Stratos again, just searching any Rescue Ace monster. Let's see if hopefully we'll get some extenders. That's the one thing I haven't seen, like, perfect examples of is good extenders, but we'll see. Next up, we move to some high-level monsters. Rescue Ace Fire Attacker, a level 6 fire machine, 22-22. First and second effects hard once per turn. If a rescue ace monster other than itself is normal or special summoned to your field, special summon this card from the hand. Let's go. And if a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand, except by drawing, draw 2 cards, then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Wow, okay. So this card doesn't hinder your opponent, but it does tell your opponent, like, hey, listen, you go ahead and use your Prosperity to start your turn. You use your Sword Soul Emergence, your Pot of Duality if you're playing Fluandereeze, whatever it is. I'm just going to draw 2, send 1, and that 1 could even get me potentially value in the grave. Wow, okay. Very cool. And it's a good extender. I just said, like, show me a good extender, and it's a big body. Like this a lot. It also chain blocks stuff like this guy, right? Yeah, your Air Horster, like, because he activates on summon. Unfortunately, the Hydrant doesn't activate on summon, but still, pretty good. Next up, we move to some bigger machines. This is Fire Engine, Rescue Ace Fire Engine. He's a level 7 Fire Machine effect monster. It's 25-25. I like that all their stats match. That's actually kind of interesting. There could be synergy with some Gizmek cards, I believe. We'll see. Let's see. If a Rescue Ace monster other than Fire Engine is normal or special summon to your field, special summon this card for hand. I love that these get out of the hand so easily. The problem is, like, you have to pair them with a low-level monster. That seems to be the one thing right now that could come up, but we'll see. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, again, I love that all of these, like, trigger effects are so easy to trigger, like, by your opponent. You can special summon 1 level 4 lower Rescue Ace monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. That is solid stuff. One thing I'm not seeing so far, though, is actual interruption. It seems like the deck is getting bodies out. It seems like the deck is, like, drawing cards with your fire attacker, searching spells, searching monsters. And summoning from deck, and all being triggered very easily. Like, I don't know if I can think of a single, like, deck that, like, doesn't play into these effects, these trigger effects in the game right now. Maybe Fluandereeze doesn't play into this guy because this needs a special summoned monster, and that's, like, the only one. Right. But okay, I mean, like, I'm liking the engine effects. I just need to see interruption. Very accessible interruption would be ideal here. Let's see if we can find it in the last big boy we have here, which is Turbulence, which, by the way, we are missing a monster, I think. Yeah, because this is 1, 2, 3, and then we jump to 5. So there's going to be a number 4 monster here to be revealed. Hopefully that'll be one more low-level monster. Yeah, maybe it'll be like a level 2, but we'll see. Okay, but here, go back to this. Turbulence, our last big monster here. Level 9, Fire Machine, 3,000, 3,000. We knew this was going to be the boss monster. 3 hard once return effects. You can banish 2 Rescue Ace cards. Any cards from your graveyard, special summon this card from the hand. I love that. That is very easily to accomplish. I really like that. During your main phase, you can set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick play spells, and or normal traps with different names directly from your deck. What? What is that? Jesus Christmas. I mean, to be fair, we haven't read any of the quick play spells or normal traps, but that is insane. Holy crap. I mean, it's going to depend on what they do, but that is insane effect. And third effect, if another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So, depending on what we can get off of this effect, this card gets you Disruption, hopefully. The question will be, I don't know, I have to mess around with them. How easily can this deck set this guy up turn 1 so that he can get you Interruption? We'll see. And the last effect is fine. I mean, like, kind of punishes your opponent for, like, going after anything. Although, if they go after him, you don't have to worry about that because they don't have to worry about his punish effect because he doesn't do that for himself. But okay, very cool. Moving on here, we move to a field spell to start. This is Rescue Ace Headquarters field spell. Rescue Ace monsters you control gain 500 while your opponent controls a monster. During your main phase, you can normal summon a Rescue Ace monster in addition to your normal summoner set. That pairs particularly well with the Hydrant, because the Hydrant itself would be normal summoned to and then search another monster, and then that new monster would be normal summoned with the field spell. And then once per turn, you can target 4 of your Rescue Ace cards that are banished or engraved, shuffle them in the deck, then draw 1 card. Not a bad card, but again, it like, you know, when we see these field spells that don't search or do something to that effect of like getting plays started, it's more like an extender. Maybe it's a one-up just because it is pretty searchable with the guy who searches spells. But we'll have to see if it's like really, really worth. Maybe it'll depend on what that last monster is to see if we have enough monsters that want to be additionally normaled. And if this card is like really accessible that way. So we're going to move into at least 2, looks like 2 quick play spells, 2 traps. This will be our 4 targets for the big guy. Okay, this card is always treated as a Rescue Ace card. It's just called a Rescue. You can only activate one card of it per turn. Target a Rescue Ace monster in grave, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant specifically, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard instead, and special it to your field. Okay, so quick play Monster Reborn. But if you have Hydrant specifically on the field, you can also go for any monster in your opponent's grave, so it becomes kind of like a shark cannon in that regard. Not too bad. No restriction on the monster you summon. Like, it can attack, you can use effects. If you steal a Barone you've outed from your opponent's grave, you just now have a negate. Pretty cool stuff. Next quick play spell is Alert. Again, always treat as a Rescue Ace card. Can only activate it once per turn. Add a Rescue Ace monster from your graveyard to your hand, or if you control Hydrant, you can add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand instead. Okay, so Hydrant makes all of your quick play spells better. Or at least gives them more versatility. In this instance, better. In the other one, different. Not always going to be better. But still, I mean, this is getting you an add back from grave, which is nice. Or have the potential to get something back. Which is this being a quick effect is pretty nice because it means like if you already had like one of these in grave, like, and you didn't use them that turn, you'd be able to add them, and then this guy's like effect would be live to like get you a Rescue Ace monster straight from the deck, which is pretty cool. So that one's definitely pretty good, I think, even if you're just getting from grave. Those guys are set up, but obviously just adding a Rescue Ace monster, any of them, from deck to hand can be pretty good. Okay, then we move to the traps here. Hopefully we'll see some interruption here. I'd love to see that. There's like no interruption in the deck so far, almost whatsoever. If you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, it cannot attack, its effects are negated. Also, if you control Hydrant, it cannot be used as material for Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link Summon. These effects last until the end of the turn. Okay, so this becomes like essentially impermanence, but also the monster can't attack. And if you have Hydrant, it makes it into that other new trap card we got a couple core sets ago that kind of never really saw play. Where it, like, I think it negates a monster, kind of does exactly what this does. Negates a monster and then also makes it so it can't be used as material for anything, which is decent. We've also seen like no material come along. It hasn't seen a ton of play, but like these effects can be nice, especially when it's an interruption rawly by itself, right? It's an impermanence, a negate, cool. But then the bonus is they can't use that body as extra material if you have the Hydrant. So again, Hydrant seems like a very crucial part of the deck. Maybe he might just be like a straight up 3-up just because you gotta have him. You gotta get to him because he makes everything so much better. And then we have Extinguish, the final card here. Again, Contain also counts as a Rescue Ace card. Don't forget that. Extinguish here. If you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, destroy it. And if you control Hydrant, this turn your opponent cannot activate the effects of the destroyed monster as well as monsters with the same original name. Okay, I mean, that's also pretty decent. I'll take both of these, honestly. Like a monster negate and a destruction. It's only special summon. Oh, it's not special. It's just a effect monster. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take both of these for sure. Especially considering you get them just for free. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I will take that. Honestly, I'm pretty pleased that like both quick play spells and both traps are like pretty playable. So that way, like, I was worried we were going to get this guy and he sets 4 Rescue Ace, like, normal traps and quick play spells directly from the deck. And I was like, do we even have that many playable names in the deck? Luckily, we do. So I wouldn't be surprised if you play all 4 of these, even at multiple copies, so that in a grind game, you'd be able to resolve his effect multiple times. That would not be surprising. But very, very interesting deck so far. I'm very curious to see where we go from here. Let's see. 10, 9, 8. Yeah, so it looks like the one card we're missing is going to be that number 4 slot. It looks like it's going to be a monster. It could be like a level 5 based on how they're doing this here, or it could be one more low-level main deck monster. We will have to see, though, but it's a really interesting start. One other thing is there's no effects here that lock you into anything. So there could be Infernoble potential here. There could even be Earth Machine potential here. I know these aren't Earth Machines, but the Earth Machines kind of work with different attributes too. As long as it's just machines, they could still work out that way. I would not be overly surprised if that is like a way things go. But we'll see. Very interesting start. No extra deck. Again, we kind of see this though. Like we've seen like a handful of these, like where we just get new archetypes that just don't have extra decks like at all. But it works out. I think this is a solid archetype. I'm curious to see what people can do with them. I'm curious to see if they have like Gizmek potential, Earth Machine potential, potential with maybe Infernoble Knights. I have no idea. It's going to be hard to say until we actually get into the groove of things and see people mess around with them, but really, really spicy. I want to know your guys' thoughts down below, though. What do you think about the new archetype? Where do you land on them? I want to know where you're at. I'd love to hear that, so throw that in the comment section down below, but I am out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from me down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.